Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard issued her first remarks following the abrupt resignation of the Director of National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, who we was just talking about, in direct response to the war. Gabbard has been a longtime critic of U.S. involvement in foreign wars and previously criticized potential for a war with Iran. Earlier, she told senators the Iranian regime appears to be intact but largely degraded, while standing by the administration for its decision to launch Operation Epic Fury.
The IC assesses that Iran has previously demonstrated space launch and other technology it could use to begin to develop a militarily viable ICBM before 2035, should Tehran attempt to pursue that capability. However, these assessments will clearly be updated as the full impact of Operation Epic Fury's devastating strikes on Iran's missile production facilities, stockpiles, and launch capabilities is determined.
Joining me now is Anna Schecter. She's a senior coordinating producer for CBS News' Crime and Public Safety Unit. So today's assessment identifies China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran as the U.S.'s top state adversaries. What poses the greatest threat?
Well, this is a great question because these are the four nations that have been posing the greatest threat for years. Every year you see the Director of National Intelligence go before Congress and talk about these nation-state actors. And what's new right now is you have an active war with Iran. You have Russia engaged in a years-long war with Ukraine. So this is uncharted territory. And what they're trying to do is kind of triage. You've got fighter jets, based in the Middle East, ready to engage, potentially boots on the ground in Iran. And then you've got a nuclear threat in North Korea. You've got Russia, also a significant threat that is taking up a lot of President Trump's time, even while all of this other stuff is going on.
Is it possible that that Russia's threat is going to increase as these sanctions have been lifted and they're now bringing in more revenue?
This is a great question. It is a persistent problem, but I actually think China poses the biggest potential problem for the U.S. because while the U.S. is busy dealing with these other conflicts, what's going to happen with Taiwan? China is really watching and waiting what to do next. Now, they do have a weakened economy, so it's not all going well for them. But this is potentially, looking ahead to next year, a major, major issue that the administration is going to have to deal with.
And the president has had to put off his meetings in Beijing because of the war. So Gabbard also revealed why she was at that raid in Fulton County, Georgia this year related to the 2020 election. What did we learn?
This was a really interesting moment because she says that it was a direct direction from President Trump to go and show up there in Georgia. It had been a little bit unclear before that. So I'm really curious to see how President Trump how she handled that question. So apparently he wanted her there and she showed up and got a lot of criticism from Democrats.
Anna Schecter, thank you.